I think you have 1 second at this point. I know people say you have 2 to 3 seconds. You have 1 second to grab their attention.
What's up, everybody? So, like I said in the intro, I got my basically best friend in the world, and I appreciate you so much for being on here, my man. So, this is my buddy Brandon. This man is unfreaking believable when it comes to social media. Over the last, again, 18 months, he's built up over 500,000 followers across multiple platforms. It's just unbelievable to watch it. I mean, I feel like it was just yesterday. We were just getting started. So, unbelievable job. And I wanted to have him on because for so many people have been reaching out and asking about best practices. What do I do to get on social media? You know, just getting started in the business, all these things around social media, how do I grow? I feel like I get the expert on. So, anyways, Brandon, let's talk about it. So, for those people watching right now who just want to get started, finally, they've been thinking about it, they want to get started, what are some good tips and strategies that you'd suggest for them to do?
Well, you just hit the nail on the head. Just get started. Because if you don't get started, how are you ever going to grow? So, stop thinking about it and just do it. That would be my first piece of advice to anybody.
Absolutely. So not only just getting started, what do you feel like point number 2 would be?
Point number 2 would be you're going to be bad before you're ever good. What? Because you will be bad, you will be awkward, you won't know what to say, and through those mistakes or learning curve, you will get better. And you'll learn more about the algorithm, you'll learn more about yourself, you'll learn more about niches and social media as a whole.
Let's break down these two, right? So the first one is really just get started, and the second one is like post and then progress, you know, and kind of learn from your mistakes. Yeah. So for those that are watching that maybe are a little bit fearful and they really like they've been holding themselves back like a lot of us do, and like in multiple different fashions possibly in our lives, what do you say to the person who's kind of scared about getting started?
Do you care more about what's on the other side of that video and what it can do for you, or do you care more about the opinions of the people who already follow you, which is probably your mom, your sister, your brother, a cousin? I remember the first day that I mentally decided that I was going to do social media. I do it with my wife. She's Brazilian, I'm American, so that's our niche. And I told my mom that we were going to create a YouTube channel, and she laughed at me. She was in the pool, she was laughing at me. She's like, you're gonna do a YouTube channel. And I was actually the person that laughed at people who had social media. So now it's come full circle.
Yeah, what I'm hearing you say is focus more on the why you're doing it, right? And like what it can do for the world, the value you can bring to the world, the value you can bring to your audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So then let's dive into the second point, which is now that they got started, they got over that hurdle, over the fear, they got started, they started posting, just like you said, and now they're starting to post content out in the world. What are some key things that you feel like you learned at the very beginning of your, call it, YouTube career?
I mean, I learned so much about video and camera presence. I learned things that I didn't even think I would need to know. Even right now, you're talking to the lens of the camera. A lot of people, when they're recording on their phone, they're looking down out of the corner of their eye. And since I do a lot of social media for you, these are things that we talk about because the goal is just to get that much better. And if you can post consistently, the more you do it, the better you're gonna get. And then you make those adjustments, same thing as for your real estate business, you're gonna get better and you're gonna see better results.
Yeah, I agree. And look, it's the same thing when you get on the phones and you make your first cold call for the first time. And listen, like it's just like looking back at your Instagram or any type of platform.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, imagine looking back at your very first post that you've ever put up. I mean, it's kind of becomes laughable, but the content that you're okay with, like that standard gets raised over time. Yeah, so again, you know, I agree 1,000% that it's just constantly working at it and improving over time. So I love that. Let's talk about point number 3. So you got started, you're starting to learn, and now you're starting to get into like the little bit heavier in regards to like the specific, you know, not only your niche, but more specific, you know, key things to be paying attention to. So if you're talking to somebody, now they got out like maybe 5 or 10 videos, and they're starting to get the ball rolling, what do you say to them?
I would say post for 30 days straight. I did a 30-day sprint on Instagram. I never posted on Instagram because I always thought the algorithm wasn't in my favor. And I heard that Reels came out and that was a big deal for the Instagram algorithm. So I posted every day. And some videos fell flat on their face and some just went to the moon. And after 30 days, what I noticed is I got better as a creator. I understood my audience and who I was serving, and I got results. because I didn't give up and look at 1 or 2 videos, oh, I got 4 likes. But in real estate, if you sell a couple of homes, so 2 or 3 homes per month, right? And your average commission is anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 depending on your market. It's a lot of money that you can be making. That's only from 2 or 3 sales. And what if I told you that those 2 or 3 people are watching your Instagram and interacting with you right now, but because it doesn't have a couple more zeros to the end of that number, you just don't bother.
So what I'm hearing you say is a couple things. Number one is that increase your output. So what a lot of you probably are noticing is that now we're starting to put out a video a day because exactly like Brandon said, we're trying to up our output as well. That's number one. So up your output. Number two, what I'm hearing you say is also that understand that even if you're not getting the crazy amount of views that you might think that you need in order to get that impact or that fame that you're quote unquote looking for, the people in your world are paying attention. This is an easy way to follow them forever. It's kind of evergreen like you've always said to me. And number two is that those 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, whatever people who are watching, you're making a massive impact on those people's lives.
I want to change people's mindsets right here and there. So with my niche, I'm in the entertainment space because I make more entertaining style videos. I'm the gringo, and we have Brazilian audience, so the Brazilians love to laugh when I make mistakes, pay the monkey as they call it, and we get a lot of views. We get anywhere between 500,000 is like a bad video for us because we do a lot of YouTube shorts and Instagram reels. We do TikTok as well. But at the end of the day, does that convert? And what I mean by that is you care so much more about the vanity metrics than you do of the actual people that you're speaking to. So if you just kind of flip your mindset for a second and think about the people that are watching, if you are trying to help people move by buying or selling real estate, you don't need to get 500,000 or 1 million views. It's cool, believe me. The first time it happened, I was like blown away, but that's not the purpose. That's not the mission behind social media. And social media is really awareness, that's one, and two, a form of follow-up. So if you just keep in mind those 2 things and care less about getting 1 million views or 1 million followers, you're gonna do a lot better on social media.
Absolutely. What I heard you say here was focus on the fact of like know your audience, because again, in the entertainment space, which you do an unbelievable job, and make sure you subscribe to this man and his wife. They do a fantastic job, amazing people. But what I'm hearing you say is that truly, like in the real estate world, you don't need a huge following to make a lot of money. So it's more about the audience and understanding what they're really looking for. So again, let's dive into that.
Yep.
So you're a real estate agent.
Yep.
You're doing okay. You're making 50, 100, 150 grand, whatever the number is, and you're looking to put some content out there that will be incredibly valuable to the average clientele, right? What do you think are some things that you feel like you can do?
First, I would just ask a question back to you, which is what do they care about? So you know that you're trying to get more listings. So you're talking to sellers. What do sellers care most about? I don't know. I'm asking you.
What immediately comes to mind is doing video content around the local market, what's going on in the world. Like I live and sell a lot by the Jersey Shore. Okay. So explaining what's typically around by me, my local area.
Great. So you probably work with a lot of people who are moving from North Jersey, who are migrating south, or people who are originally from New York and coming into the great state of New Jersey. Love you, New Yorkers.
No one's ever said that before.
No one. We're the first. So you know things about the Jersey Shore. You probably know things about hurricane season. You probably know things about certain weather swings or the best places to eat because we're foodies here in New Jersey. A lot of Italians, a lot of great Italian food.
So good.
So good. So those are the little things where you need to be able to pay attention to and own your niche. So a niche is just a small segment of people, a very specific group of people that you cater towards. So once you have your niche, and if you sell real estate by the Jersey Shore, and let's be even more niche, you sell luxury property on the Jersey Shore that are like $1.5 million or above, so like very luxury, then you're talking to a specific group of people and you just own it. You know them like the back of your hand.
So in this part, I would say that, just to reiterate for everyone here in the real estate world, so if you want to focus on a niche, you want to promote the most, I would even say focus on a lot of the entertaining pieces because that is really, really valuable. So if you want to get into the luxury world, like Brandon said, you can be, doing a lot of cool, entertaining things around the house.
Blend entertainment with information. So real estate is an information niche.
Yes.
So, and you can get information anywhere. You can Google it, you can go on YouTube, you can get it from just about any person out there, any source. But why would they go to you? That's the question. That's $1 million question.
Yep.
Because you're different, because you're unique, because you're entertaining. People love to be entertained. People love to laugh. And if you can blend entertainment, because if you can educate them while being entertained, they don't even realize they're being informed. So that's just a perfect blend between what they like and what they actually need to hear.
Absolutely. And listen, the entertainment space, I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Right? And number one, but number two, again, like he says, like, again, if you're really just hunting views, you know, and the entertainment space is going to be a lot more view heavy than the educational world is going to be. However, when you hear this though, conversion rate wise, it doesn't always mean that it's
that's
much
not
better.
building a business.
Exactly. So that's just one thing to pay attention to. But again, have fun doing it. I mean, it's a huge part of it. Absolutely. So that's the luxury business. Let's talk about, like, again, I heard you say food. It's obviously a huge thing out here in New Jersey. We love our food. So diving into, like, you know, interviewing, you know, I guess local business owners could be a big one, or interviewing, you know, different, going around different restaurants, trying different foods, maybe even the places that people would like to go to, like, you know, the Meadowlands Stadium and other things, right?
I'm a big proponent of show not tell, and what I mean by that is a lot of people, you've probably seen this on TikTok or on Instagram, where people just do ta, 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 ta. There's 6 points for whatever.
Yep.
And that's great. That's informative. That's a little entertaining, depending if you can dance or not. But what's really helpful and a step above that is when you're able to show people things. So what I mean by that is, let's just say it's 6 steps to flipping a home, and you're trying to help realtors, other realtors, how they can flip more properties. So I would go to that property and show them and do the action of it. Don't just tell me what to do, show me, because like a lot of people in school, they're visual learners. So you have to visually show them exactly what needs to get done.
Absolutely. So again, you're hearing a lot of different points here of different things that you can just get started, right? Like we talked about, that was point number one, just getting started doing. And again, you can try a certain niche and go for it. You don't like it, go to the next one, right? And have fun doing that. So let's move into the next piece of this, which is now they're posting.
Okay.
They're in a niche.
Yes.
They're starting to gain some traction now. You have now taken a YouTube channel to, you know, 250,000 subscribers. What are some things that you feel like are some really high level things? Maybe, you know, we talked about keywords. You know, what are some things that these people need to hear?
Well, I know that you talk about the market and how it's evolving, and I think that content evolves too. We used to make videos, believe it or not, because when my wife, she came to the United States, her dream was to become a professional actress, but before she could become an actress, she needed to master the language of English. So I thought that we would just double down by making videos about English, which is great because we can help her learn English, which is something that I was going to help her do anyways, and then help other Brazilians that wanted to learn English as well. But then what I realized is I'm not that great of an English teacher. I got to be honest. So we stopped doing that. I still helped her on the side, but we started making more entertaining videos. And then what we realized is we were really good at short form content, which we never thought when the idea first formed. So the content's gonna evolve. Everything evolves, but you have to pay attention to it. And I track and measure data the same way that you should for your business when you're making calls, who you're talking to, how they convert, what are those percentages, why they didn't pan out. And so then you have certain metrics where you can look at and say, am I growing or am I moving backwards?
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the metrics. What do you think are some of the more important metrics for people?
So I don't look at views from an information standpoint because you're in an information niche. I care more about the people who are really engaging, true fans, as I like to call them. So people that they always show up, they always interact with you. Those are people who, it could be a Monday afternoon where you post, it could be a Sunday evening where you post, and those are just raving fan peoples. I measure those number of people because once you get to a certain point, they're gonna promote for you. They're going to ask you, hey Henry, how can I help you? Hey, I have a property that I want you to be my agent, and they come to you. They're the hand raisers.
Yeah, so number one is looking out for the people who interact with you most, right? So these are people that I guess are commenting, always liking, always responding, always, again, interacting with all of your content.
And it takes two to tango, because I think a lot of people think like, okay, when are they just going to pop up into my inbox? But that doesn't happen unless you are the one to correspond to them and respond to them. Because people, how cool is it when your favorite creator responds to you? You have like a fangirl moment. You're like, I can't believe this just happened.
Oh my God.
But honestly, it's so cool to think that you matter, that what you're putting out into the world matters and it's making a difference. So if they can take the time to respond to you, you can take a few seconds to respond back to them, even if it's an emoji. If they send you a smiley face, you send a smiley face back. And my rule of thumb is if they send one, you send two, because I'm always trying to do a little bit more for that person.
I love that rule. So number one is looking out for the people who are engaging most. Let's talk about YouTube specific.
Yeah. So we make reels. We have posted pretty much every day for the last 3 months, and we've grown by 100,000 subscribers. And that sounds awesome. However, we really struggled the last 4 months because the winters in Jersey are just tough, and we've had green screens and other things, but it was a process. One of my big metrics that I follow when it comes to videos is we do 30 seconds, no more. So most of the videos that you'll see are anywhere between 25 and 35 seconds. I know that on Instagram they say between 7 and 15 seconds is the ideal, because a lot of times you'll take a trend and you'll make a trending sound and then you turn it into like a funny, quirky video, which is awesome. I highly recommend that.
Sounds great. I mean, like, listen, so, he is a master when it comes to the shorts. Because listen, it is an art. The world's attention span is dropping, and I'm even blown away that you're even this long in the video, because a lot of people click off faster. So again, people's attention spans are dropping. So this is again why they talk about how Instagram and TikTok blew up, because people's attention spans are like 7 to 15 seconds before they click off. It's why video content's gotten shorter. AKA shorts on YouTube.
I think you have 1 second at this point. I know people say you have 2 to 3 seconds. You have 1 second to grab their attention. So that could be the color font that you use. I think about these things. I know, very exciting. You could a sound like a bling, because what are you trying to do? You're trying to break their pattern. There's a million other people that they can watch their content, but instead they decide to stop by and visit your little Instagram shop for a quick few seconds to make their day better. That's the goal, to do something to enhance their life. And if you can't get their attention, it doesn't matter about the rest of the video.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, think about it. Like, you guys are, scrolling on Instagram, scrolling TikTok, scrolling on the shorts section of, Facebook or YouTube, and it's like you're just going. And they're like, think about it. What really gets you to stop and pay attention?
Yeah. Even this video, if you're watching this far into the video, the reason why you got this far into the video was because the thumbnail enticed you, or there was something about the title. So thumbnail or title, and you have to have a great topic. So those are the 3 T's: thumbnail, topic, title.
Beautiful. Yeah. And I know that we've also brought up the metric in regards to watch time. Why is that important?
These algorithms, all they care about is how long you watch, how long you stay, because that's how they make money. So if they're not watching, the algorithm's not happy, the app's not happy, and you're not going to be promoted. So they don't care what you do, pretty much. They just care about the watch time. So if you can, however you can get their attention. I know one time you used an example of, however you can get a call back. You said, your house is on fire, and you jokingly said that. However, you would probably get a call back. Not that you're going to say that, but that's the purpose, is to be able to say something where you're going to capture their attention and get them to respond, get them to react to you.
Yeah, I agree. So, listen, it's all about keeping their attention going, like we talked about. So, beautiful. Let's flip the coin a little bit. Okay. So, let's dive into some biggest mistakes that you've made in your social media career.
I wish I started 2 years ago.
Okay, start sooner.
Start sooner. I whatever you're currently doing and you want to do in the future, do that already. That would be number one. I would say don't be afraid to look stupid in front of people that you care dearly about, because they care about you and that's why they feel that certain way. And third one would be to just keep going, but pay attention to what's not working, because just by posting over and over again, it's like running on a hamster wheel. You're never gonna make progress unless you pay attention to what's working, what's not working, and even on your channel, we paid attention to people really like cold calls. If you don't like cold calls, we wouldn't make more content about that, but people like cold call videos. So what do? Pump out more cold calling content.
I love these three because, again, I feel like a lot of people, number one, they get fearful about starting. So again, we hold ourselves back. So that's why we don't make, we make the mistake of taking way too long. That we just keep delaying and putting off the inevitable of wanting to get started. If you're not paying attention to your content, looking at the metrics like we've been talking about, and constantly learning, it's really hard for you to improve. And the coolest part about all of this, and real estate too, is that you get pretty immediate feedback, right? Through views, watch times, and everything.
I remember listening, and I think this came from Damien John, where because he grew up in the streets of New York and he was selling clothes on the street, he would get feedback about the clothes, but not only feedback about the clothes he was selling, but the clothes he was wearing. He'd get feedback about his mother, jokes, but you get feedback, and it's harsh. I get a lot, not a lot, but it's like...
It's inevitable. Everyone gets,
It's like 98.3% of people, that's an exact metric.
Of good stuff.
And then
0.1 whatever.
Yeah, 1.7% of you dislike everything that you put out. And you can't control that. And honestly, the people that dislike it and the people that send you mean, nasty messages, which they don't really send that much, I'll just send them a couple hearts or thoughtful words. And chances are, oh my God, I didn't think you were going to see this. And then they turn out to be your biggest fans.
Yeah, I agree. And like we talked about, like that immediate feedback is what's going to allow you to progress, especially when you shift and adjust. Like think about it, the videos that get the most views or the most likes or the most interaction, you probably should do that again, right? Because you're probably going to get the same type of result. However, there's a lot of people who don't pay attention to it and they have those one-hit wonders.
Yeah. Well, there's a saying in the creator world, which is success leaves clues, make part two. Think Media, Sean Cannell said that before. And it's true, because if something worked once, if you recreate it, it's most likely going to work again.
Any movie. Think about all the movies that we've seen in our life, right? Then you see the part 2 and the 3 and the 4. I mean, look at Star Wars, Harry Potter. I mean, like, the movies did unbelievably well, so you make a number 2. I mean, that's the point.
That makes sense.
Exactly right, and I'd be doing the same exact thing. So let's leave these wonderful, lovely people who are watching our video with a last quick tip, maybe like a secret that we've been trying to hide from these people.
Ooh, a secret about social media. I think a lot of people don't post on all platforms, which isn't a secret, but you have your favorite. You have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter,
TikTok,
Snapchat. I'm kidding. You don't have Snapchat. Don't do that one. But you have all these platforms, and you post on one or two. You just post on the ones that you think are going to work. Post on every place, because you don't know what's going to work. And the thing that you don't even want to post, where you're hesitant to even put it out there, is probably the one that's going to do the best. I know that happened with us. This one video that we made, it was like our third best video ever. And I delayed I refused to put it out for about 2 weeks. And then my wife, posted it for me. I didn't even know. And it ended up doing really well. So put everything out there. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't worry about the results, but then learn from it. It's like a science experiment. That's what's fun about it. And then you get better and better over time. Same thing when you role play, when you practice your skill set. You're just going to get better through the practice, but you have to go through the bad in order to get to the good.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's why I had him say it. So, look, I hope you appreciated this video. It's awesome to have you on. I always appreciate that so much. And listen, if you guys like content just like this, make sure you put it in the comment section down below. Hit the thumbs up button. We greatly appreciate it. And actually, by the way, matter of fact, if you made it this long during the video, give us a thumbs down. I just want to see how many people got to this point in the video. I want to show, right? Like, this is tracking metrics, right? So again, we would really appreciate that. Other than that, guys, we love you so much. We'll see you next time. Take care.